Hey, what up, fellow Rust players? It's your boy Defango here, and I got another banger for you today about sorting. So, you got a clan, and you want to get all of your big loot sorted, and that little rinky-dink system that Defango made is never going to be able to fit all of the loot that me and my 20-man are going to get. So, the first thing to know is that I rebuilt this to be a little bit more like a 2x2 that's expanded, not exactly the big thing, but it's already incorporating everything that we've used before. We got the speedy drop boxes set up in some locations so you can check them out. They still work just as they should. The only difference is that, we've placed the Dropbox combiner here. You can see the green line for the sorting system is going down into the initial phase, or our tier 1 that we would normally place inside of our starter base, whatever. That's where that's going to be going. And then the next thing that we're basically going to do is we're combining all of these boxes into one and then running it into another combiner. Yes, I know, right? You're like, another combiner? Right? How many combiners are we going to get? It's going to be a lot, but know where you place them, because after you split it off into your automated furnace system with however many furnaces, up to I think 31 is what you can attach, you can at least have the initial system set up. And of course, this thing is going back up to the input combiner, which takes it back to the Dropbox, and so on and so forth. Now, since we're ready to go here, we basically got to start building out the second combiner system, right? Because we already know how to separate our loot, but for big clan business, you guys are going to need a little bit more space. Or if you're just one of those guys that's playing on like a monthly and you just collect lots of loot, you're eventually going to need to probably have something like this in order, and you'll need to know how to do this because it'll help you out with whatever clan system that you're working on. So we'll go with the green color, and obviously we're always going to start out with the splitters so we can hit everything. But you'll notice that I have it set up a little different. I have some small boxes and large boxes. So for bigger groups, sometimes you get 3-4 boxes of stone. And, how are you supposed to manage all of that together? It's actually, quite simple. You're just going to go ahead and start attaching your boxes like you normally would. But then we're going to do something like we normally would do with the furnaces. And we're going to interconnect the boxes like so. If we interconnect the boxes like so, it's basically going to allow this conveyor to fill them up sequentially. So if I wanted to have a box of stones, for example, but I have a crap ton of stones, I can apply that here, turn it on, and I'll be able to actually utilize all of that stone in an interesting kind of way. So, let me just go ahead and fill up my inventory with stones, because you're going to want to fill up that resource box with them. So that's what we're going to do. We'll just get a lot of stone until it starts falling out of my, system. But as you can see, you could have a bunch of guys farming on this thing, and they'd be able to drop it down, and you can add more drop boxes as you want. It's just always going to be a combiner situation. So now this thing's basically going to start moving, and once it starts actually picking up the stone from the resource boxes, it'll start moving it out over into these boxes right here. And as we had it before, it's just all going to be interconnected from here. So first things first, we got to get that pipe connected up, or it's not going to really be picking up anything. Shouldn't be too difficult, like I don't want to make the piping too crazy, but you can see, oh, the pipe is blocked. Oh no, too close. Okay, try that again. Sometimes your pipe runs will not work when you have them, or just when you thought that they were going to be perfect, they won't be, but that's okay. You can always just rerun the pipes if you need to. There we go. Now we should be all connected and actually getting everything filled up. And then as soon as it actually picks it up, you'll see pretty much there. And now it's going to do the same thing it did before, just start sucking all of that into each of these boxes, and it'll fill each of those up sequentially. And remember, if you want to combine them together, you can still do that. The process will be the same. You just need to make sure that whatever you're pulling out is going to have like a conveyor, right? So, we only going to have all these 3 boxes. I'm just going to put one combiner here instead of what we would do normally, and I'm just going to combine this all together, right? And this is going to allow me to do a few things, but the main thing is that I can still connect all these boxes back to my main sorting system. So if I have these things connected together, then I have this guy doing the same thing. There you go. And then this basically is just going to get combined down there at the bottom. So you'll see that I am going to need a few more combiners. So let me give myself a couple. But I'm just getting this kind of situated so that we can actually have it together and ready. So even if I wanted to be able to loop this back into my other system, I could still do that to the main loot box. Or if I want to be able to pick stuff up from like the industrial crafters and stuff, you could still do all of that pretty easily. We're just going to run the pipes on down through here, and then we're going to attach it to our already in place combiners. So now all of these boxes are looped together and these boxes are looped together, and we could hit them all from this. And if I need to split it out, I can. Because, obviously the next thing that you would want, you could have a pipe going out of here into some lockers, and then you could have automated lockers, or you could be looking at something a little more interesting with like automated crafting, and then that would basically give your automated crafters access to all of your boxes. So, once you have all the pipes set up, then you can expand the modules as you need for different things. And you'll see this guy is still going to be moving all that stone, although you'll notice that, look at that, it's filling up all the boxes as opposed to just one of them, which is really nice, and it'll work. So if you have big open core loot rooms with lots of boxes and you want 3 boxes of meds, 3 boxes of rocks, 3 boxes of wood, so on and so forth, this is how you're going to get it set up. And then I always just recommend interconnecting the boxes so that you can actually pull stuff out of them. Because once we have this all set up, the next thing to do would be automated crafting for stuff like meds or armor, that sort of thing. And you would also probably want to look at like actually doing vending machines. You can look on my channel and see an example of a big 20 vending machine shop that we put together that allows us to make lots of scrap, but at the same time is a great example of how you can use this system in a variety of different ways. And it's extendable, it's modular to the point where you can disconnect parts of the system and they can run independently of each other, but they're designed to always have area and space for you to put in. Like if I do an automated crafter, that would go there, and then everything would go in here. Now, some people are like, well, Fango, I don't want my drop box on the outside of the building or something like that. Well, obviously, you're going to want it in at least a safe place, but no matter what, it's always going to be doing that work for you, and you'll see that, even the automated smelter is still running. It'll just constantly keep going, constantly pull stuff in and out. And it makes it pretty simple for you. And also, I did not know that you could place boxes like that. Kind of interesting. So if that gives you the better understanding of what's going on here, and even then, you can use a lot of smaller boxes in the same way, right? Like I could connect these 2 small boxes together and basically run them off of one combiner, or I could basically connect up to, I believe it's 31 boxes to one conveyor. So, I could just literally interconnect all of these guys together and it would fill up each of them. And this is where the power comes from, because you can set what you want. You get tons of filters for every single item. It's kind of like what your cup of tea is. For every player, it's going to be different. But, for most people, you're probably going to get a lot of AKs. You're probably going to have a lot of full metal kits. You're probably going to have a lot of stone, wood, that stuff. So you'll want to have at least more boxes. And this is where how you're going to do it. This is how you're going to extend it utilizing the sorting system. And then I guess this is more like a tier 3, but I basically call it the clan system because you're going to be in a clan if you're actually going to this level of things. And just think about it this way. Everything that you learn in this game with the sorting is only really there to make your life easier, right? You spend 15 minutes so that you can not spend an hour sorting your bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you spend 15 minutes getting this set up. You know, this is something that any Rust player could set up with minimal understanding of electricity. I mean, this whole system doesn't even use 50 power probably, and I mean, everything could be run off of one medium battery. And that's including, I believe, all of the furnaces. Because that's 10 power right there. And then I don't have 30 conveyors, so we're pretty much good to go. So if you like what we do here, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Share this with your friends. We will be continuing to make really interesting Rust videos with the electricity to help you understand why you would use these things and how easy it is to get it set up when you use the right system. Anyways, have a good one. See you in the verse. That's stupid. This isn't Star Citizen. See you in the Rust.